What's up everyone, welcome back. Today we're playing Atraxa Grand Unifier in Historic Brawl, except we're actually playing Golgari Atraxa. So this is the last installment of a series I did where I did a guild, a video for each guild that you can fit in Atraxa's 4 colors. So there's Selesnya, Zorius, Demir, Golgari, which we're doing today, Simic, Orzhov, and if there's one I missed, I apologize, but there's 6 guilds total that you can fit in those 4 colors, and this is the final one of the series. So Golgari, I guess we'll talk about Atraxa first. I think everyone knows this card, but just to go over the commander, essentially 7 mana, 4 colors, 7/7 for Phyrexian Angel, flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink. You know, giant creature, lots of stats, and then when it ETBs, you can look at the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, put one of them in your hand. You can read that as draw a new hand when it enters the battlefield, essentially. And that's kind of what we're using it as. This is a Golgari control shell with lots of black discard effects. You know, Golgari destroy, kind of target anything effects. And then big haymakers at the end once we have a ton of mana, which is easy to do since we have green in all of our planeswalkers, and we have tons of board wipes to clear the board. And you know, Golgari is just really good at removing stuff. I mean, whether it's Assassin's Trophy or, you know, Mythos, Putrefy, Binding of the Old Gods ramps us and destroys stuff. So that's what we're planning on doing, just blowing up everything the opponent does, ramping ourselves ahead, bringing down Atraxa when we have a 7 mana, refill our hand, do it again if we have to. So let's get in there and see if we can actually get some wins with this deck. I've had mixed results with the decks in this series, but I mean, that's to be expected. We're kind of doing this as a deck building challenge. We'll see how Golgari does. Sometimes it's not the deck, sometimes it's me. Sometimes, you know, sometimes these decks are a little tricky to pilot, but I love Golgari. It's one of my favorite guilds, so hopefully I do it justice. If you like this kind of content, subscribe. I feel like it's fun to do Atraxa in a different way. I think people are tired of Atraxa as a commander, but doing it in a you know, a unique way where we're cutting out 2 of the colors, you know, brings some new fun to the card. Speaking of which, the matchmaker does not care that we cut out 2 of our colors. So they're still going to put us right in hell queue. They're going to think we're a 4-color good stuff Atraxa deck, and we're going to be playing all the other, you know, best cards and best commanders, I should say, in hell queue, you know, S tier, whatever you want to call it. But we'll be playing Golos and Rusko and Ragavan, and we'll probably have an Atraxa mirror. It seems like every one of these videos I've had an Atraxa mirror, so we'll see how those go. Falco. I don't know this card. Is this a New Capenna card? Kinda looks like a New Capenna card. Yeah? Enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast spells on top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you control in addition to paying its other costs. Huh. Cool card. Never played it before, so it is interesting that it comes down with the shield counter, and they are in Bant color, so they do have blue. They get to go first. We don't have any ramp except for Stomper, but we don't have double green. We do have black and then green black, but does Languish get around the shield counter? What does it say? Shield counter. If a permanent with shield counter would be dealt damage or destroyed. Well, I think Languish gets around that. Anyway. Let's keep. We have 3 of our lands. I wish we had 2 green instead of 2 black, but it is what it is. Evoke Despair is nice too. I think Sacrifice gets around shield counter, but I'm not 100% sure. Since it forces them to sacrifice, I think it gets around the shield counter. Because die and sacrifice are technically 2 different things. Also, -4 is, I think, different than death as well. It's And it says until end of turn, so even if it came back, it would still be -4, -4, and it would die. I'm pretty sure. It would like remove the shield counter and then it would just die anyway because it's still -4, -4. They're going to the top rope on 0. They just skip their turn. Sweet. Okay. Starting the video off with a banger. Nice, nice. It seemed like they were there. Like, I could see them touching their cards and stuff, and they obviously picked a hand because... like, if they weren't there at all, it would have just... I never would have been able to pick a hand. But, alright, cool. I was kind of looking forward to playing a new card, but, not new as... I know it's an older card from an older set, but, one I had never played before. I don't think I've ever played that card in Commander or Historic Brawl, so I was kind of looking forward to that, but, oh well. We trudge on. So yeah, like, ideal opening hand for this deck, you know, we have green in our colors, so we want to be able to ramp. Ramp is super important in Historic Brawl, especially in this high of the, you know, Historic Brawl queue. We're playing the other S tier commanders. If we can ramp out in front of our opponents, you know, we're usually doing really well. This deck is super annoying, but our deck has lots of removal for that enchantment, so I think we'll be okay. They get to go first. Stomper again with no dual green source. I think we got to pass on this hand because there's no black source in our hand. And we're not doing anything until we get a black source, so yeah, it's an easy mole. Okay, we got all of our colors plus a ramp piece. It's a mana dork. We have creature removal. This actually gets rid of an enchantment, so maybe we keep because we have enchantment removal. We can fetch up a green source with this. Arena's kind of laggy today. What's new? Okay, sure. They can't take the cedh. They don't want me to get in their hand. I mean, that's fair. Takenuma? Okay. Let's just go get our green source. I forget if I put Triomes in this deck or not. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think we did. So, I mean, we could grab this one because it comes into play tap no matter what, and we're not doing anything. Yeah, why don't we do that? That way, if we draw another one of these fetch lands later, we can fetch the land we need in that moment and shock it in. They turn their land into a creature. That's a little dangerous against... I mean, you know I have removal. Are you willing for me to blow up your land? That's what you just told me. This is a swamp, isn't it? Yes. So this comes into play untapped. I mean, don't we just blow this up? Isn't that the correct move? Pay 3 life. Yeah. Okay, land destruction in Golgari. That's the risk with cards like this. I mean, it's a cool card. Like, this would be a great popper card, but in this queue, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one opponent. Sacrifice, add 1 mana of any color. Draw 3 cards. Okay. I don't think we're going to use this right now. So we could Spring Bloom Druid, let them play their Asika or their Prismatic Bridge and then blow it up. I mean, that seems like the right play, right? We don't really care about the 1/1. We're going to blow up this Takenuma in case we want to get it back later. We had Invoke Despair on top. Would have been another good card. So we can go color fix if we want here. Well, we have another green in our hand, so let's get our blue and our white. Now we have a blocker if we want to block. Oh, they don't have the mana. Okay. Never mind. Oh, we'll just play this as a land. We will go attacking. They don't want to block. Okay, we'll save the Beseju. We'll play this guy. End the turn. So now they can play the bridge, but we can blow it up. Resolve. Pass. My turn. We can blow it up and thought seize them. So let's do that. They're tapped out. Non-creature spell, Bolas. Okay, bye Bolas. Let's blow up your prismatic bridge. Looks like next turn they're gonna just cultivate and hold up counter magic. We'll hold the Heartless Act in case they draw a good creature. Yeah, that's fine. End turn. Cultivate. Uh-huh. Right now they don't have counter magic for Atraxa, so if we draw a land, it's pretty good. Pass. Well, we can Gix's command and get it countered. And they can give us 2 treasures. Or Spell Pierce. I guess it would be Spell Pierce, huh? We can just Despise. And if they want to counter it, they can counter it. Would you like to give me 2 treasures? Yep, get that out of there. Let's go ahead and do this. They can counter it. They can Spell Pierce it here. We'll just get it out of their hand. Yep. Yep, play the bridge. And they don't have... Okay, so we can Atraxa, which is definitely the right play. Draw a new hand. We're looking for... So that is removal. Definitely the command tower. We'll take the Professor Onyx. This one, because it's also enchantment removal. Right? Okay. There's Chandra.
I've got other things to burn.
Little awkward against our giant life linker. Yeah, we get an emblem.
No pressure.
The fairy. Okay.
This isn't my first time being the hero.
Draw a card. I guess they can phase out my Atraxa, right? Now they're empty-handed. So... How much mana do we have? 1, 2... We're in our... Okay, we don't want to do this here. We want to wait till our main phase. Pass down. Okay. Let's do it like this. How much mana do we have here? So we can Assassin's Trophy one of their planeswalkers, then invoke to spare them, right? 1 black, 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 black. Yeah. But no, we can't do that because then we wouldn't have enough mana then we wouldn't have enough mana. Enough black mana for Invoke Despair. Okay. How much mana do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn. Because I thought we could Field of Ruin, get our black source. We gotta get rid of the bridge, so I guess we just let them keep whichever planeswalker they want to keep. What is this? Target creature you don't control phases out. Okay. So we will... Yeah. Just do it like this. Make them sack the Teferi. Or do this first. That's fine. Resolve.
Oh, you'll get over it.
If we get a card, they're gonna sack their Teferi. We can Harrow, which is actually pretty decent at instant speed. So do we want to attack? Yeah, we do. Because we want them to -7
You're playing with fire here.
to try to kill... Well, I guess it's phase out still, huh? So they can't do that. +2. We get another emblem.
Hope it's not too hot for you.
But again, we have a 7/7 lifelinker, so we're not too worried about it. Terra Sunder's beautiful. Okay. Chandra's not going to die here unless we exile target artifact or enchantment. Okay, so we can do this. On the Prismatic Bridge. Bye. We can... okay. Alright, we did it. So I was thinking we could Assassin's Trophy the Chandra and then attack their face and put some pressure on them. Next turn they'd have to draw a land to play the bridge again, which, you know, I'm not sure would even matter at that point, but we'd just find another way around that. Maybe with Professor Onyx we could dig to find some more removal, but we got plenty of ways to remove it. Or we could just... Probably the better way to do it would be to have these both attack Chandra. We're not really worried about the emblems. It would be at 1. Then we could Assassin's Trophy their bridge and start killing them. That'd probably be the way to do it. Something like that. I think they saw the writing on the wall though, because they could see my hand since I revealed those cards when Atraxa came down. Alright, Prismatic Bridge down. That's a good win. I said before in the other videos, as long as I get one win with these decks where they're kind of like a deck building challenge, I feel like, at least in this echelon of the queue, right? The S tier, the Hell queue side of Historic Brawl, I think that's a win for the whole video. Because we are neutering ourselves by taking 2 of Atraxa's colors out to build this deck. There are some pros, like, you know, the mana's easier and stuff like that, but we still have to mana fix in Golgari colors to get Atraxa down eventually. So it's not completely Golgari, right? The lands still allow us to get Atraxa down, but I think it's a win if we get at least one win against one of these top tier decks. Prismatic Bridge is a really hard one to fight against unless you have the right tools, and fortunately Golgari has the right tools. One of the reasons I love Golgari, because it's like removal for anything and graveyard recursion, which we don't have a lot of graveyard recursion in this deck, but typically like a Golgari deck that I build that is control oriented is like tons of removal for anything non-land permanent, and then taking all that stuff out of the graveyard, putting it back in our hand. Nicol Bolas, tough one. Artifact or enchantment. This is probably good against them because they don't have land ramp. This is good against them. This is good against them. I think this is a keeper. I almost mulliganed on accident. Yeah, I think this is a keeper. Hopefully we draw another land for Broken Bond. What to do turn 1? I feel like we gotta get the tap land out of the way, even though I'd like to keep it. They could Thought Seize us, or yeah, Valky or something like that. We only have Shieldred, so it's not too big of a deal. It's gonna be a while before they can pay for that. Let's... What should we do? Flooded Strand? They don't have blue yet, or actually anything but black, so... Do we have any double colors? We do have double black. And we have an Overgrown Tomb in our hand, so as long as we have a land with another black in it, I think we're okay. So we might want to go Mana Fix, maybe, for Atraxa, because this might be a matchup where we need that. Let's do it like this. Let's pay the 2 life so we can hold up Shieldred's Edict. Ow, we should have gotten white, actually. Shit. Oh well. No worries. Is this instant speed? No, it's sorcery speed. What is this? Artifact or enchantment? Is this an artifact? Oh, we can blow up their land. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Oh, hello. Oh, that's way better. Buy. Submit 1. Enter tapped. Beautiful. I thought this might come into handy, not for that reason. I thought they were going to play like a mana rock or something. Yeah, bye. Oh, man. I mean, they must have not had great mana anyway if they were playing a colorless land on turn 2. You know, they should be playing like a red or a blue source. Man, max punish for playing an artifact land. So I mean, that might be a lesson for everyone who doesn't know that, but if you have an artifact land and your opponent has a spell that says destroy target artifact, they can blow up your land because it doesn't say destroy target non-land artifact, right? If it said that, then they couldn't touch your land. Just like, you know, the Golgari destroy anything spells say non-land permanent, that means I can't blow up their lands, right? But I can blow up anything else. But if it just says blow up target artifact, destroy target artifact, and your land is an artifact, you can blow it up. So might want to be careful with those artifact lands. They're not too many on Arena, but in other formats, it's definitely something you gotta worry about. Okay. Man, can we go on the play once? That'd be sick. Okay, this is an aggro deck. So Children's Edict's good. Heartless Act's good. Although this one gets counters. So Heartless Act is a little awkward. When does he get counters? Put +1. Great. Whenever you attack with one or more non-gnome creatures, put a +1/+1. Okay. So we can time this correctly. Okay. Keep 7. I think I know how to sequence this. We'll start off with Balaged Recovery. Or do we start off with Castle Lockwane? Do we have a swamp? That's a swamp. Okay, no, we're good. Because it's tapped unless we have a swamp, so we're good. That's fine. That, we can cut that down. Whenever you attack with a non-gnome creature, right? So if they play this next turn... Oh, it counts itself? Whenever you attack with one or more non-gnome creatures. This is a non-gnome creature. Okay. Man, we gotta kill their commander more than we gotta kill this thing. Beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power, create a 1/1. Okay. Okay, well, we gotta just shock this in and kind of let them play their stuff. I think they're gonna want to play their commander. That's typically how this deck works. If they don't, then we can cut it down. They don't. Okay. Response? Do you have protection? When you're in white. It's weird they didn't play their commander. Swiftfoot Boots. Esper Sentinel. Sure. I guess... Castle? And pass? I think they're going to want to play their commander and put the boots on it, right? Ragavan. Ragavan. They didn't dash it, right? They just paid the 1. We're getting close to Crux of Fate, so maybe we just wait. Oh, they're going to give it haste. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, well, I think we can just Crux of Fate them, so we can take... We can't let the monkey do its thing. That's how we fall behind in this game. With no counters on it. Yeah, right there. I don't know why it wasn't letting me do that. I was clicking it and it wouldn't let me select it. Pay the 1. Do we pay the 1? Yeah, I guess we do. We don't want them drawing a card. Blow up the Ragavan. They can equip the Esper Sentinel, sure. And attack me. Yep. Is that your turn? Sweet. Then we will Restless Cottage and pass. Does this have haste? No. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. I don't think we do that. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Yeah, that's gotta die. Oh, they got bored. Alright, cool. Weak opponents up here in the upper echelon of Historic Brawl. Very thin-skinned. Like, I'm reading your card, man. Like, it's 100 cards singleton. Give me a break. They're pumping out sets every other week, man. I gotta read the cards. Okay. See what we get next. So that card actually would have been an issue because it would have gotten around our Crux of Fate because all they had to do is sack it to protect all their stuff from, or give all their stuff indestructible. So that actually was a good card. I don't know why they scooped, but they just weren't about it. Golos. Blood Chief's Thirst. We have technically a black... Dude, could we go first once? Game, please? Power kill. Non-angel, non-demon, non-devil, non-dragon. I'm pretty sure this is like a human... No, it's like a scout. So that kills it. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess, right? Rolling regrowth fixes their mana. They're going to spend their first couple of turns mana fixing anyway. Okay, surveil land. That'll get recovery. Do we just lead on that? No, we need a black source. Goldhound, huh? That's nice. Okay. Probably Pilfer, right? So do this. They have blue up. I guess if we get stifled here, I mean GG. But worth the risk. I doubt they're running a stifle. Looks like they're not. We need an untapped land. We need black. We have a green in our hand, right? Yeah. So we can get blue or white. Is there any reason to get either of those over the other? I don't think so. So let's just get blue. Make them afraid that we have instant speed interaction. We could make them sack their, or we could kill their gold hound now. Or we could pilfer them. Which one's better? Realistically. I think pilfer's probably better. Because Goldhound's going to die anyway when they sack it for mana. And it's what they're sacking for mana that we care about. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Okay. Liliana the Veil. Each player discards a card. Do we care? What is this? Scry 2 if you control an artifact. Create 2. Adopters. Running out of time. I'm not really worried about Liliana. We can kill it if we want with Bloodchief's Thirst. Because it makes them discard too, and they... You know, they're probably just going to sack their Goldhound and ramp here. That's what I would guess. We don't have any artifacts or enchantments for this to exile, so we're not really worried about it. Next turn they're going to play Golos, so Liliana's not coming down then anyway. I like the art on these new lands. Some people have kind of shit-talked it, but I really like the art. I really want to pick up some of these in foil. I bet they look awesome in foil. Okay. So, green, right? And there's no reason not to Roiling Regrowth right now. But we'll just do it like this. Is it tapped? Yeah, these enter the battlefield tapped. If it was, what's the other one? There's the one of this where they come to play untapped. Then I could do this at instant speed and then power word kill their Golos. I mean, they gotta be playing Golos, right? There's no reason to play Liliana. You're gonna play Liliana, plus it, discard one of your own cards, go down to one card. Yeah, that's okay. That makes sense. So, there's no reason to kill it right this second. We can just do this. Let's sack this guy in case we want to get it back with like Battlegate recovery or something. And go get some basics. So we need a black. We have a white in our hands, so let's not go look for white. We have blue, so let's get... Do we need double black? Yeah, it looks like we have a lot of black. This is a forest, so... Let's get 2 black. I guess we had black with Lottery Grave, but whatever. We have a lot of black spells in our hand. Yep, they're gonna go get the World Tree, make all their lands. Tap for 1 mana of any color. Oh, they don't? They just get Command Tower? Okay. Is this budget Golos? Normally they get the World Tree because it mana fixes all their stuff. Necropotence. Oh, now the triple black's looking real good. Okay. Well. Now I wish I had 4 black. I guess we... Since this is sorcery speed, why don't we do this now? And... Let's hold up Power Word Kill. We could go get something out of our graveyard. Do we go get like Roiling Regrowth? Or like one of those lands, maybe? This is a land, so I don't... Nah, that doesn't make any sense. Just pass. Let them try to find a land, play Golos again. Liliana. Okay.
Enough.
Liliana's fine. If you want to make me discard stuff, I'm just going to Necropotence soon anyway. Discard a card. So they can't play Golos then, right? So let's get rid of power word kill. Aha, they got rid of this. Beautiful. So we can just Necropotence and outdraw their Liliana, right? Now if they activate it, they're just hurting themselves. Well, I guess they have nothing in hand now, but... Okay, so let's... is this instant speed? It is. And we can actually... We can do this on Liliana and still have mana up for... Well, it's not instant speed. I mean, we just Necropotence, right? They can play Golos and then we can find an answer. Yeah, I mean... I think this is just an easy Necropotence. Okay, so let's... How much should we do this for? In other videos, I just refill my hand and get to 7, but then I get criticized for not doing like 10. So let's do something like 10. Let's go down to 16 is fine. I don't really want to go lower than that. Let's play the land. Pass through the turn. Draw a bunch of cards. I guess we're not going to 10 because I played the land, but these are all good cards. They're going to make me discard a card. So which card are we okay discarding? This one is probably the least effective right now. They can plus Liliana and we'll just what? One more other lands. We can what do we... Is there anything that we care about a lot? Desperate. Resolve. We can get rid of Desperate. That's fine.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Kind of does the same. Actually, no. Let's keep the stuff that gets us lands. We'll just get rid of this land. Keep Beseju. They can play Golos. We can blow it up next turn. Resolve. Oh, it's an artifact. We can blow it up now. You get to get another land, but we can just do it now. Then we can start blowing up stuff and ramping ourselves. Resolve. Interesting. They didn't want the Narset. All the Surveil lands. Okay. We don't draw because of Necropotence. Just trying to think if there's a best way to do this. This gets us the land immediately. Oh, but it's only a creature. Only a creature. Yeah, we really want Liliana to die. So let's do it like this. Since they have no cards in their hand, it's not affecting them negatively anymore. We can Children's Edict only hits their Solemn. So let's just draw what, 3? Okay. I guess we can use this on their Golos. Resolve. They get to get a land. Let's go to their end step before we Shieldred's Edict. I know they're going to sack the Solemn and draw a card, but at least we can do that and make them have an instant speed spell. Or maybe we just don't. I just don't want to... We're getting low on life. I don't... It's only 2 damage a turn, but it's still... It's going to add up. They don't have blue mana up. Probably pretty safe for the Shieldred's Edict. Right? But it's okay. I just don't want to take the 2 damage. Resolve. They get to draw a card. It immediately went to things, so it's probably a land. My turn. Grab a land. Might as well grab this land because it has to come into play tapped because of the wording on binding. We could shock this in and play Atraxa. Pretty good. But so we lead with this, right? Because we're going to do this no matter what. We're not going to play Atraxa because we can't. Can't do both. Guess we go get our blue. This... I mean, we already have blue, but why not? We have enough black and enough green. That way, in case they get a... sometimes this... Are these all gates? No. Sometimes this deck is like a Maze's End deck. I love the art on these. They're so good. We'll play... I guess for this card, it's worth it to shock in, right? And then we'll draw... Let's draw 1. I don't really want to go lower than 10. This deck has some haymakers in it, and they could easily do 10 damage to us if we're not careful. Okay. Resolve. They go get a land. As long as we make Golos keep costing a bunch... they're not going to be able to do what they want. Now we have a lifelinker too. Resolve. They have a bunch of cards in their graveyard, so we could Shieldred and flip it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just with one more land. All the Surveil lands. They're good. These cards were underestimated when they were revealed. But they are good lands. It's basically helping them dig for an answer, right? They don't have blue mana up, but they do have black mana for maybe killing Atraxa. We do have ways of gaining life in the deck, so we'll see if we can find one. It's always the duality of cards like this. They're really, really good. Play for a basic forest, put on the battlefield tapped and shuffle. Okay. But they really put you in a pinch if you don't have a way to gain the life back. Okay, we don't draw. We get Atraxa, which is probably the right answer, right? They're not a Maze's End deck, so I don't need to worry about any of these lands. We can Shieldred and Murderous Rider. Can we do this in Murderous Rider? No. But we can go get some stuff. Let's... we didn't play a land, so let's do this. We'll definitely get a land. Reliquary Tower, perfect. So now we don't have to discard anything. We can go Casualties of War. Inquisition, Duress and Inquisition are so good though, but Casualties of War would be nice. Liliana would be great. Assassin's Trophy. Why not? Play the land. Play Murderous Rider. Now we have 9 power on the board. And we don't want 2 Necropotents, because we're down to 8 life. Okay, they're going to blow everything up. But that's their whole turn. They can't play Golos. Resolve. Take action. Okay, gotcha. They have a creature land. Do they have any other creature lands? Doesn't look like it. So we can blow that up with the casualties. Yes, I passed. Okay, my turn. Which one was that? Target enchantment. To get rid of the Necropotents. We don't want that anymore. Target land. Okay. Where is that land at? This one. Wait. Oh, target enchantment. Yeah. Necropotents? Yes. I am very sure. Target land. We can just hold these up. They're all... These are both instant speed. They can play Golos for 13 mana. Resolve. Go get a land. I mean, I guess why not, right? Now it costs 15. Surveil. They should have gotten a creature land if they had another one. That would have been the way to go. Okay. So we can flip Sheoldred, right? And put all creatures back onto the battlefield? Is that... Am I understanding that right? Or we can Atraxa and get a bunch of cards in our hand. I mean, that's what we came here to do, right? Yep. Plus it can gain us life back. Non-legendary, yeah. We don't want to go for the throat. We'll take the basic. Sure. Well, no, actually not you. Actually, yeah, why not? Okay. Submit 3. Is there any reason to not? We already have a black up, so we can have cast down ready to go. Now they gotta find an answer to Atraxa. They might have a way to kill it. Or draw a way to kill it. Golos. They have 1 mana left over. Resolve. Sure. So what we'll do is we'll play Shoulder next turn to make them sack it. Oh no, they have 2 mana left over. Okay. Surveil land. Yeah. Do they keep on top? They do. Okay. Well, I think we're going to mill them when we flip this, right? No, not quite. Okay. We can do the flip at instant speed, though, can't we? Or does it say activate only as a sorcery? Yeah, only as a sorcery. Never mind. Now it costs 17. Let's attack. Gain some life back. Cool. We're not at this scary edge of death anymore. They might have put a farewell or something on top. It just makes me... Well, I guess farewell doesn't hit planeswalkers, right? So, what am I afraid of? They got a lot of different things they gotta answer here.
My army will envelop.
And now if they kill our stuff, we draw cards. So it's not the end of the world if they do that.
Is easy to find in
Golos costs 17. Can they find a way out of this? I've had it happen to me so many times when I play against Golos that they actually do find a way out. I have them pinned down, I have them in the chokehold, and they find a way out. Because this deck is all, you know, it's 5-color good stuff, so they have all the best cards in the format in their deck. But I may have actually gotten through. Foundry Inspector. Artifact spells cost... Okay, is this instant speed? It is. Well, here's what we do. We make them sack a creature. And we put 2 lifelink counters on our Shieldred. Two +1/+1 counters and lifelink. We attack in. Maybe they have a Settle the Wreckage. They do have double white. Cyclonic Rift. Okay. That's not the end of the world. So that's why they kept that on top. Okay. It's fine. And we have Reliquary Tower, so we're not going to discard anything. Do we just Atraxa? I mean, I guess we polluted Delta. Bracket. Yeah, why don't we just Atraxa? I mean, they obviously have no way of getting rid of it. We have all our colors, so let's just get stuff that doesn't hurt us. No shock lands. And yeah, let's just make our hand gigantic, right? I mean, that's what we came here to do. That's what this video is about. They have 1 card in hand. Oh, it's tempting, but no. Oh, Professor Onyx too. Thoughtseize? Yes, please. Yeah, you're fine. Although, maybe the Fable Passage. Non-artifact creature's awkward with Golos. Because it's an artifact. Let's do Meat Hook Massacre just in case. We can always play the One Ring and not activate it, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess let's get it out of their hand. Whatever it is. Yeah, bye. That's a good one to get rid of. Golos, what does it cost now? 17? Okay, we are tapped out, so we don't have a way to act with it interact with it right now is what I'm trying to say. But they obviously don't have a way of getting rid of Atraxa, so we're going to smack in again for 7. And then we'll Shieldred them, and we'll just redo that turn we had a couple turns ago. Let's hope we have a basic left in the deck. I think we at least have 2, right? 3. Alright, let's get some more green. What do we do here? I guess we just, like what I said, Shieldred. Sack your Golos. Bye. Oh, I had a great time. So, yeah, I mean, that just shows the power of this deck. I mean, obviously the power of Atraxa being able to refill her hand over and over again, but, I mean, the deck is good. It's only Golgari, you know, spells. But, even with Golos' really annoying ETB where they can go fetch a land and essentially, like, if this was any other commander, they wouldn't have been able to play it. What was it? It was at like 17. It cost like 17. They wouldn't have been able to play it, but because Golos fetches lands, it cuts the commander tax in half, right? Because it's always, whenever it comes into play, it gets a land. So they're able to keep up on mana, which is why they have so many lands. It makes it really hard to keep this card in the command zone. But again, if you killed enough times, and you really got to kill it like 10 times for it to start making it hard for them to cast, you actually can stop them from doing their thing. And then, you know, because they want to play this and spin the wheel with the 7 mana Wooburg, exile the top 3 cards of the library, they can't do both. So at least if it's entering the battlefield and taking up all their mana, they can't spend 7 to then spin the wheel and get the free spells. So that's the way to beat this deck, although it's extremely hard to do. But this is definitely a deck that's up for the task, as we saw. Man, that game was long. What was that, like 40 minutes? Every time I play against this and I'm playing a control shell, it takes this long. Whew. This card is banned in Commander. Just keep that in mind. It's banned in Commander. It's legal in Historic Brawl. Just shows you how powerful it is. They don't ban anything in Commander, really. I mean, they got Armageddon's still legal in Commander. But Golos? Nope, not Golos. Kemba, Ka, Enduring. Cat Commander? Interesting. Okay. Let's do a deck review. So, I had said in a couple of the videos that Golgari was one of the color combinations, one of the guilds I was really looking forward to playing in Atraxa. I just feel like it makes sense with the commander. You know, when I was playing like Selesnya Atraxa, it worked and I got wins with the deck, but it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like the commander and the deck meshed together. It was more dream than actual like well constructed deck. But I feel with this Golgari deck, Atraxa is great for it. First of all, like I've said, Golgari can remove anything in the format. Enchantments, artifacts, creatures, lands, right? It can remove anything. So we have all the tools to fight any fight. And then Atraxa allowing us to basically have a draw, you know, essentially a new hand effect in the command zone allows us to keep up with the other decks, like the Ruskos, although we didn't play Rusko, but the Goloses, all the decks that have like free card advantage, free card value. Atraxa lets us keep up with those decks and remove all their pesky little permanents so that we can pave the way for our really annoying stuff, like, you know, Casualties of War and Garruk and Professor Onyx. And then, you know, Atraxa itself, I mean, if they can't remove this creature, it's like 3 swings and they're dead, right? I mean, is a 7/7 is a flying, so evasive, vigilant, so it can block, death touch, so it can, anything that you throw at it can kill, even if it's bigger than it, we can kill it. And then lifelink, so like in the last game where I got down to 5 life, well, guess what? 7/7, I swing in once, I'm back up to 12. I swing in again, I'd be up at 19, right? So this card really on not just for the card, you know, advantage, card draw effect, but the ability to have a giant creature like that can gain you life and block and kill anything is extremely advantageous and nice to have. So that's the deck. I didn't really go over the lands in the intro because I've done it for all the other decks, but you can see it's mostly Golgari lands with 1 basic of each land type outside of our Golgari colors. And then, you know, the stuff you'd expect, like Boseiju and Takenuma. And we have all the cons, fetches, and I'm running all of the shock lands that have a green or a black in them. So if there was a shock land like a trying to think which would any of the ones that like a white blue, right? Like an Azorius shock land is not going to be in here, because we want to be able to mana fix like breeding pool, like have a blue available for Atraxa eventually, but we want it to also have an applicable color of the spells we're actually casting. So I think I got like 8 of the shock lands in here, so that we can fetch them with the fetches. But I didn't have any of the ones that don't have green or black, right? I did that for the other videos too. But yeah, that's the deck. Some of the cards that didn't pop up, like Thought Distortion, are really good against other control decks. So like if we went up against Rusko, we'd hope to draw this eventually, because it basically, if you've ever played this card against, it can't be countered, right? And then you basically exile their hand and their graveyard. So against like a Rusko deck, it's hilarious. They have 10 cards in hand, they're feeling good, you play Thought Distortion, all of a sudden their whole entire hand gets exiled. It's hilarious. Not great against a creature deck, right? But or against Golos, if we had drawn this, like let's say they actually had cards in their hand, because they spent most of that game without cards in hand, but if they actually had a full, set of cards in hand, most of the cards in their deck are non-creature spells. So this would have exiled their hand as well, or most of their cards in their hand. This is a really funny one to have. It's always a roll of the dice, because it really only works against non-creature spell majority decks, but those ones are very popular in Hellq. So it's worth it. It's worth a card slot, is all I'm trying to say. And the fact that it can't be countered makes it like, it's just so good. And it's an uncommon, so it's not like you have to crack a rare or a mythic wild card to get it. It's a really good spell. And then, just all the hand hate. I mean, I put in some of these weird ones that you don't even ever see, like Despise and Divest. They're really good. Even just getting information about the opponent's hand can help you play your cards in a better line, right? If you know that they have counter magic in their hand, well, maybe you play a little different because you want them to counter your first spell and not your second spell or whatever, right? Or if you find out they don't have counter magic, it changes the way that you play too. You just start slamming your haymakers, right? So all the hand hate stuff is really good. But yeah, that's the deck. Let me know in the comments whether you liked it or not, or if there's any Golgari, favorites of yours that I missed. Otherwise, do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed and you've been watching this far, what are you doing? Just subscribe. Channel's been growing. I had to take the last week or so off because of work-related stuff, but hoping to get back in and do, a handful of videos a week again, like I was doing before. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.